Hello everyone, welcome to the THR show. My name is Osasu Paul Azino. The THR show focuses on social sector managers and entrepreneurs who by sheer determination and passion work through their projects. And this show will focus on the challenges and the impacts of this project. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, or people you would like us to interview, please drop a comment below. And there are a lot of subliminal messages on that are not even okay. It's not even subliminal any longer.
It's obvious.
Yes, the songwriters and all of that. They will say this songs are played in adult content time or adult timing. So it's not supposed. So as an adult, you can choose to switch off or listen. But it's not the same for the children.
What when you take it? These are the issues. What when you now take it to schools where the children are? If the songwriters say it's not for adults, which I agree with, but what about we as adults who take that music, we take it to children, and they were playing for children adult content also. The point I'm trying to make is this: there has to be a regulatory body. That regulatory body is the family. It's the family that registers children in school.
Enforce it everywhere.
Yes,
so
it's the family
school, wherever they are. You must say, no, this can't.
Yes.
I will not take this from.
Yes.
So this also translates to your caregivers at home. So the nannies and the households.
The nannies and the rest of it.
You must ensure that. So what you're saying is that you must ensure that they know what the rules are. They know the things that you would accept.
Very important, because what has happened today is that our children have become very sexually active. Unfortunately, we are not aware. And the report on violence against children released in 2014 said there is a prevalent cases of child sexual abuse. But the report made a pathetic statement that children are not reporting abuse. They are not reporting it. Why are they not reporting abuses? The report says because they believe they will not be believed. So what do we find? We find a situation where the society is over-sexualized because of the socialization today is sex. Is sexualization. That's the socialization. So that sexualization, which has become the socialization, will produce immorality because the children want to act what they see. You know, the other day in nursery school, a 4-year-old girl was busy, a 4-year-old boy was busy climbing girls. And they invited the parents. And the mother said, I must tell you the truth. I cannot lie. I always tell the father the kind of things we listen to. I always tell the father that when we want to have sexual intercourse, these children must not be there. My husband would tell me that they are children. What do they know? And at the end of the day, the child now went to school and began to practice what he saw. So if the socialization is sexualization, what are you going to find? You are going to find this kind of responses that we are getting, and it is important that we arrest it, and it's something that we are committed to in our organization to bring sanity to the thinking of our people, to help our people to see things differently, and so that they can raise the child differently.
So this is absolutely an enormous work, from rights to protection to preservation of the child. Is your organization, are you a non-profit? Are you a social enterprise? Why is that? And then what are your challenges running your academy?
Well, when I set out, I set out as a... I think the first thing, how do you define an organization? I think you define them by, it's not by saying non-governmental, not-for-profit, social enterprise and all of that. Grayman Bank, that's the bank of Mohammed Yunus, registered as a limited liability company. And Grayman Bank, Mohammed Yunus got Nobel Peace Prize on the basis of his effort in ending poverty in Bangladesh, and he wrote his book Bankers for the Poor, and in that place he spoke about one thing, which is viability. How do you sustain yourself? It's very important. And so whether you are a not-for-profit, whether you are a social enterprise, whichever way you run, it is about the problem you are solving. And it's about how you are solving it. Social enterprise only speaks about solving a social problem, but we are operating on sound commercial principle. And that's what we have done, because you see, the reason why we have done that, number one, is because we don't want to go cap in hand asking for resources to do our project. We want to be able to do our project.
So this is sustainability for you
yes,
as well.
we want to be able to do our project. So what do? We run on sound commercial principle. We sometimes we charge for, we rob Peter to pay Paul. Those who can pay for our services, we get them to pay for our services. Those who cannot pay for our services, we give them the services free of charge. But not only that, when you pay us to run a program for you, for example, or to run a training for you, or you buy our product, you are still being socially empowered.
Yes.
It does not reduce the kind of empowerment you're going to get,
whether you pay or
pay or you don't pay. So it is this same thing. But one thing that is important that we need to clear, why we are not eager to ask for fund, is because, you see, our message is very particular to us. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. When you begin to collect money from some agencies, there's no free lunch anywhere. There's no agency that is going to, there's no donor agency, or there's no donor that is going to give you money for free. Every donor giving you money has a message behind the money. Every foundation that is creating resources have a message behind the money. And that is why someone started out by saying, I am talking about sexuality among young people, and my message is abstinence. But few years down the line, she has deviated from abstinence to ABC. A means abstinence, B means be faithful, C means use condom. Why? Because the people funding the project are now saying that, look, you must give them condom. They have right to self-determination. Now, we are not saying
is wrong or
right. I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but the foundational thing is, why?
What's your call?
What is your call? What is your call? What do you want to do? And for me as a person, my message is very clear. Our message is very clear. I found help through faith-based. My help that I found is through faith-based help. And I'm interested in disseminating that faith-based help without really calling it faith-based. And so if I begin to source for resources from some quarters, I may be forced to tone down my message. I may be forced to change what I'm saying. And because I don't want to do that, what we have done is to create resources and to be able to manage those resources to ensure that our message remains what it is, because we know that once the message is tampered with, the impact is tampered with.
One of the last things we're going to do on the show today is on our wall of fame. We have a few, not all of them. I can see. We have a few people on our wall here who have done phenomenal work. I'd like to know who is that one person that speaks to you on a regular? Who is that one person that stands out for you? You know.
Well, it's a very difficult question for me, because I've been mostly immensely influenced by the guys here. But I think that I would like to focus, I like to choose Dr. Nelson Mandela. Dr. Nelson Mandela, I can say that I've read everything he has written, and I think I've read everything that has been written about him. I have interacted with him on the pages of his books, and I understand perfectly who he is. But one thing that strikes me most about him is his commitment to be vulnerable. Because when you read Long Walk to Freedom, he shared with us in that book, he did not only share about his victory or his successes or the fact that he was a statesman. He shared with us the impact of his first divorce on his children. He shared with us how the impact of divorce on children, why families must not, be quick to consider divorce, particularly when children are involved. And in that book, he spoke about the impact of divorce, of his neglect of his family over, the crusade he represented. And he said, to be the father of a nation is a great joy, but to be the father of a family is a greater joy. He said, but it was a joy I had far little of, which means he was telling us in that book that if I have to live my life again, my priority will be different. I will focus more on my family than I will focus on the state. Because I wrote an article when he died, I titled it, Mandela's Greatest Regret. And he said it clearly in the book. He said, my greatest regret is that I had no time for my family. And so I loved what he did. I appreciated what he did. He sacrificed everything for his struggle. He could actually say the struggle was my life, because he himself and Oliver Tambo set up the first black law firm in South Africa. And they had clients because they were the first black law firm. He sacrificed all of those things because he asked himself, I cannot be a second-rated citizen in my own country. I have to stand up and speak. And if you read his speech, his speech is in law we call it allocutus. What he said before he went to prison, he said, I've represented the interests of the white man. I've fought for the right of the black man. He said, but And he said it is a right for which I'm ready to. It's the right for which I live, and if need be, the right for which I'm ready to lay down my life. What a great man!
So far,
what a great man! I can talk about him.
All day.
For the whole day. I've read so much about him.
So you're open to partnerships and collaborations because you mentioned at the beginning that it's not personal because your organization is your name, but it's from a personal experience. It's not to say that you are all in all in a sense. So you're open to partnerships and collaborations and all of that. Is that so, sir?
Well, there's no human being that can fulfill a vision alone. When you go alone, you can go very fast, but you're not going to go very far. So for you to go very far, you have to collaborate. You have to partner with people. We cannot do what we are doing today without partnership. What if nobody calls us to run training? What nobody partners with us? So we are open to collaborations. We are open to partnership. But the foundational thing is compatibility of values. There cannot be relationship without compatibility of values. So before we sign up for partnership, we always want to ask, what do these people represent? The show we are on right now, we are here because we identify with the principles that establish this show as a way of creating an awareness that is lacking within the social space in Nigeria, within the civil society space. I mean, this is something that is lacking, and this program has taken upon itself to create that awareness, to create that knowledge that we need. I mean, in every sector there are programs that try to revitalize, that try to rejuvenate, but it's lacking within this space. So I must celebrate the initiators and the drivers of this particular program for seeing it, and that's why I am part of it. I have appeared on your show today because I identify with the nobility
and the vision
of the vision that you are executing. And so that is what makes it for us. We are interested in partnering with people. We are interested in working with people, primary and secondary caregivers, schools, nation, everybody. Our messages are critical in every quarter.
Fantastic.
So
how can we reach? How can the viewers reach you? Social media platforms, websites, phone numbers, if you may.
Yeah, somebody saw me yesterday. He said, you live on Instagram. I said, I don't. I just post pictures there. I have an Instagram account. It's at Taiwo Akinlami. Twitter is at Taiwo Akinlami. I'm on Facebook, The Preacher. I have a fan page on Facebook. But my name also is Taiwo Akinlami on Facebook. You can check us out. Then we have a website, which is www.taiwoakinlami.com.
So
over 100 and something countries of the world. Give
us your last words. This has been a very engaging
for me
episode.
Yes.
So your last words.
Yes.
Final words.
Final words.
Parents,
yes.
To caregivers.
I'm tied between many opinions when I have to give final words. But let me say that I will end with the word of Numela. Numela was the guy who began to warn the people, particularly the elites in Germany, when Hitler was rising. He said they came for the Gentiles. He said you were not a Gentile. Gentiles were taken. They came for the Protestants. He said you were not a Protestant. I'm just paraphrasing him now. He said they came for the Gentiles. He said you were not a Gentile. Gentiles were taken. They came for the Catholic. You said you were not a Catholic. Catholic were taken. They came for the labor leaders. He said you are not a labor leader. Labor leaders were taken. They came for Christians. You said you were not a Christian. Christians were taken. They came for parents. You said you were not a parent. Parents were taken. They came for school owners. You said you were not a school owner. School owners were taken. Now, by the time they came for you, every other person has been taken. You did not know that the time your neighbor was being taken, you were the one being taken. And that is why we cannot watch and allow society to go down. Every one of us must arise and take responsibility for the change we want to see in society. We can't create armchair criticism and begin to say, this is not right, this is not right. The question is, what are you doing? What are you doing in your space? What are you going to begin to do? And you don't need too much to do. All you need to do is breath, which is available to everybody. Once you have breath, you have something to give. There's something always in your hand. So I want to charge every one of us to arise to the protection of our children. It may be another person's child today, but I tell you, it may be your child tomorrow. Your child might go to Grange, go to all of these big schools, but the children in public schools, if you don't pay attention to who they are and what they are doing, they're going to become menace to your own society, to your own children tomorrow. I came from a very poor background. You know, I was a no-name boy, but I'm married to a woman who came from the upper crust of the society. Now, if attention was not paid to me, if I didn't find help, would the parents in their widest imagination will have thought that their daughter was going to end up with a guy from the other side of society? You see, that's how it works. And that's why we have to be committed to raising children aright and doing the right thing for our society.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming here. We really do appreciate this conversation. And with this, we come to the end of today's episode. I need not say any more. Please help in your corner protect the rights of children. Till another time. Bye.